Oh, okay. Yeah, so just down the road from you. I used to run the jazz band there, been there for a long time. Also, I'm a guitarist by instrument and composer. And also today, I'm your feedback back, delicious, and I can't talk, so it's going to be interesting. All right. So anyway, we got a bunch of things we're going to do today in our time together. There's three things I like to cover in these kinds of clinics. One is ensemble things, because obviously that involves a lot of people at once. Second thing, probably because I'm a guitar player, is talking about some rhythm section things, because I really believe that this one quarter of the band has a huge impact on what the other three quarters of the band plays. So we'll talk about that. And also, time permitting at the end, I want to talk about some things about soloing. And so that'll be a good chunk of time to spend. Let's look at the first tune first. What I want us to try to do is raise the bar a little bit in terms of two things ensemble-wise. One is how the small group on this tune phrases the melody together, and then the second thing is to try to make sure we're all agreeing on what the swing feel is, because if you just ask somebody casually, hey, what's swing feel, they're going to say, well, it's dang, 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 which is true, but there's a lot of ways you can interpret that, and I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. So, Afternoon in Paris it is. Can we take, at bar 9, please, the rhythm section and actually, I take it back. Can we take it at 33? There's a little group that has the melody. It's like alto and the tenors and first trumpet, first.
We actually moved all those instruments to bar 9 too. So
oh, you did? Okay. Yeah, I thought I heard of it. Okay. So what I want to hear is bar 9, the little group within a group. Okay. And Ron, I've done this guy since forever, so we do that. Could you count it out?
Sure. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
In jazz, 8 notes are going to be long, unless they're at the end of a phrase and maybe there's a rest, or of course if there's a dot after it. But in general, here's what I think I'd like to hear. Can you sing that back at me? And even if you don't play it, Barnum, can you sing it back anyway? Let me sing it again. 2, 3, 10. 1, 2, here we go. Now, can we try to less of this, and more of this? How am I singing it different the second time?
Slower.
A little bit more legato, just a little bit more smoothed out. Okay, it's almost like I want to take some rhythmic sandpaper and just kind of smooth out some of the bumps. Okay, let's try to play it that way. And again, right now it's just the rhythm section and the little subgroup. Okay, at bar 9. 2. Here we go, and 1. That's a subtle difference, but it feels better to me. Here's what I'd like to try now. I'd like to make that first that first 8 note that has a rest on either side. I'd like him to be a tiny bit louder and maybe a little tiny bit shorter as well. The triplet at the end of the line, can we accent the very last note of the phrase? Sing that. Ready? 2, 3, go. Okay, let's play it like that. 2, a bar 9, here we go. Now, and A, well, first of all, there's a million ways that you can interpret this music. Okay, so I'm not saying that this is the only way, but it's something that I think might kind of make it a little different, just sort of smooth some things out. Maybe we don't want to make that first note quite that short, and maybe we don't want to accent that last note quite as much, but a little bit could be really good. Okay, at least I thought so. The piano solo in this, did you start off by playing octaves, or does it sound like?
It's kind of like 1/4 of the song.
Okay. Where's the piano solo at?
It's 47.
47? Could I just hear it there a little bit? Oh, there's a little solo right. How about this? Why don't we do 41 instead? Let's do 41 instead. And 2, 41, 10.
Not in this song usually.
Okay, guitar player, I think, in a tune like this, I would definitely go the Freddie Green route, and I think I would just go.
I've heard that about 1,000 times.
This guy right here?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, do you know who Freddie Green was?
I don't really, no, I did not. I heard, like, I listened to him like once, but.
Are you guys here at noon?
Yes.
I'm doing a guitar clinic at noon on Freddie Green. You should go. It's in the church, Fine Arts building. I don't know where, I'll figure that out, I guess, before 12. But anyway, here's what I think you should do. When you start varying the rhythm in a tune like this, I go, oh, piano solo. Oh, wait, oh, squirrel. and I kind of get distracted. So I think if you turn down a little bit, actually turn down some, but play a little harder, and really dig in those chord notes. So what's going to happen is you and the bass player are like joined at the hip rhythmically. He's going doom, 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 and you're going jump, 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 jump. And it's a really, really cool sound. And Freddie Green was a guitar player for Count Basie for years and years. He had this amazingly tight rhythm section, and it's a great sound. I wouldn't do that on like a modern hip, contemporary jazz swing tune, but on a tune like this, I would totally do that. I think that sounds really good. Okay. Oh yeah, that's different. Never mind. Okay. Piano solo. We talked a little bit about. In this tune, when you play on the drum set a ride thing with the brushes, it seems like a great idea, but it just doesn't. We just don't hear it. And so what happens is I see this.
You don't hear it.
But I hear that. So I happen to be sitting next to Gary Hobbs, who's a superb drummer. So I think maybe a couple things you could do for the blowing section, and if this is what Ron wants to do, you could go to sticks. I mean, sticks don't have to be loud, but I mean, you could do that, and that way I hear the ping. Or you could just go, you could do that. But I think I see a lot of drummers do that, and it seems like, well, it's a great idea that isn't practical. It's like, I want to build a flying car. That's a great idea. It's not a practical one. So a flying car, not so much. After, there's a little ensemble thing after the piano solo. Could that be 89?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I hear a little bit of 89? And we'll probably do a lot of stopping and starting, so I want to thank you in advance for being with me on that. Here's 89. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 10. Why did I stop? Sit down there right there.
A mezzo piano.
Is that mezzo piano?
Yeah, it's probably mezzo forte.
Oh, he did? Okay. Hey, it's good to see you, buddy. Yeah, so I didn't know that. So, I'm just curious, how come you wanted them to play louder? Just a different
Well, because it wasn't full enough initially, and now they've gotten more strength in it since we've been.
Okay.
So it was a weaker, it was sounding weak
Yeah.
when we first started doing it.
Okay. Now, let's talk about something. A lot of times, sometimes when we play softer, it sounds a little weak. It doesn't sound as cohesive. What do you think? So when he made that dynamic change, he was responding to that, right? What do you think we could do as an ensemble so that he wouldn't have to respond that way? In other words, how can we have that sound more cohesive at a softer volume?
Lots of breaths forward.
Yeah, exactly. Air is the cool. I mean, I'm a guitar player, and even as a guitar player, I find myself breathing and phrasing when I'm playing with foreign players, like I was a saxophone player. Okay, I can breathe whenever. I can hold my breath and play if I want to. But it's really, really important. Just for giggles, can we try it softer? Just for the heck of it. Okay, just see what happens. You probably did this in rehearsal, but I'd like to hear it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, You could probably play it softer, but that's a call for you to make. I think you could. One thing on drums, when the band plays louder, I don't know, did you try having them play sticks in that part of the tune?
I liked having the brushes for the solo, and that's
Yeah.
why he can't really change the sticks at that point. I didn't like the sticks for the solo part of it. So that's why we stayed with it. I know we're sort of trading off there, and we were even talking about it earlier today.
Yeah. And sometimes, man, it's like, oh, it's the lesser of two evils, or you just gotta make the call. One thing I think you can do is I think you could be a little more aware of where the windows are and maybe play some more stuff. So even if I can't hear the set as much as I would like during the ensemble things, whenever they have those little breaks in the phrases, even if it's for a couple, 3 beats, hang on. Boo, doo, boo, 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 bum, ba, da, da. You know what I mean? Just some stuff. Do you know who Jeff Hamilton is? The drummer. Here's what you gotta do. You guys gotta get some Jeff Hamilton. There's a Clayton Hamilton big band, which is pretty ridiculous. That's one of my favorite bands. Okay, have you guys heard of him?
No, sorry, my last name's Hamilton. So
Okay. It's probably a different group, and I want to assume. The Jeff is really, really good, and the rhythm section, and the Jeff Hamilton trio is maybe one of the best jazz trios in jazz. You know, piano, bass, drums. He's really, really good, man, and his brush work is just perfect. He's almost the perfect drummer in my book. I totally dig him. And the big band sounds great, and the trio of stuff sounds great too. So maybe you can pick up a couple things or listen to it on the internet or something like that. But check it out. If I was a drummer, man, I'd be all over studying Jeff Hamilton. Okay. You know, for both big and small music. Okay. For time, yeah, we talked about a bunch of good stuff there. Let's skip around a little bit to the blues tune at the end. This is the chart that had a whole bunch of like Barry saxes and bones and all sorts of cool stuff. Okay, on the bass part on this, what key is it in? B flat. Okay. Man, you know what I think? Are you thinking that bass part at the beginning? Yeah. Okay. You know what? It's a B flat blues. You know, I think what you should do is memorize the basic harmonic structure and get your head out of the music a little bit, and just play a blues, man. When it's an ensemble thing, there might be some harmonic quirks that you need to look at music. But it felt to me like I made a couple notes on the bass line. Let me do this. Memorize changes. Oh, one thing. I mean, I'm a guitar player, but bass is my double, so I do play some bass. Be really careful of when you're playing a line. If you repeat on beat 1 the note you played on beat 4, it kind of throws a kink in the groove a little bit. So really try to avoid playing a note on the 4th beat and then repeating the same pitch on the 1st beat. Like, try to find another way to do that. The other thing is, sometimes you might be going do, and there's a big jump from the end of one chord, and then you jump down to another octave. So if you can try to make the transitions from one chord to the next chord a little bit closer, your line looks like this instead of like this. You know what I'm saying? And that's really important. So I'd like to encourage you to do those things. More about that. Oh, be real careful, guitar and piano, on the comping thing, because sometimes what happens is if you're comping rhythmically and you're comping rhythmically, it kind of does that a little bit. Yeah. So we'll talk about that today in the clinic too, if you can make it. But there's a couple things you can do. One thing is if you're playing Freddie Green style, it totally works because you're not playing. I mean, you're playing rhythmically, but not. It's the same rhythm. So you become wallpaper. You become a nice pattern that's part of the decor, and then you're the one with the rhythmic variation. Or, and this is really fun, you can trade off. Like sometimes in our band, the guitar player will say, hey, I'm going to comp for the saxophone player, and the piano player is going to comp for the trumpet player or trombone player. So that's a cool way to do it too. And sometimes they figure it out, they'll just write it in, and then sometimes they'll just kind of call an audible, like you'll just start coughing and then you'll lay out. Okay. As a guitar player in a big band, I spend a good chunk of time doing this. You know what I mean? Just even not playing, because I would be in the way if I did play. So just keep that in mind. For the soloists, here's what I wrote down in my notes. The number one thing to think about, and how many people play solos in this band? Maybe not today, but today or ever. I play solos. That's awesome, man. That's a lot of hands. That's really good. Number one thing on my list for solos is time. You know what number 2 is? Time. Right? You know what number 3 is?
Time.
You guys must have seen my notes. Why is it so important? Okay. What's more basic, like rhythm or melody, do you think? I would say rhythm. I mean, I think the first caveman played a drum, he didn't play a saxophone. Probably. So here's the thing. Let's take a look at the last chart. And where's the bonus at?
57.
57. Beautiful. What's the tempo on this one? Okay. And who is it? Was Barry first?
Yeah.
And did you go first? You went first.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just hear a little bit. And how did you play a chorus and then you played a chorus? I can't remember.
Yeah, I played a chorus, straight chorus.
Okay, chorus, straight chorus. Okay. We'll probably stop the part of that. And then rolling. Was it the same kind of deal?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 beats on the bass drum. Okay, there's 2 schools of thought. One school of thought says do that, but if you are going to do it, here's what I want you to do. I just pack your bass drum with like TNT. So if you're going to play every beat on the bass drum, how are you going to play it down?
Very, very cool.
Very gently, right? And then and that's called feathering. Just very. All you're doing is you're putting a little bit of a point on the rhythm of the bass drum. Or plan B, which is cool too, is to use the bass drum as a little punctuator. That kind of thing. So both work, but it's a little heavy.
I have a question too.
Yeah.
Were you watching?
Yes.
Okay. How is the bass drum? Because I feel like consciously I was trying to play it as little as possible, but I have a tendency to play it on.
In that room, I can't tell you how many times I've heard, man, that bass drum's really loud.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't loud all the time, but sometimes it was. But it's been loud for everybody since yesterday morning.
That's smooth. Okay.
Okay, cool. Let's go ahead a little bit lighter. Yeah, let's see what happens. 2, 1, 2, 3, go. Assertively on the time than I think you did. And there was a lick you played, and you played it a couple, 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, ba-doo, ba-doo, bop, ba-doo, ba-doo, bop. I don't know if you remember that. Can you all sing that? 1, 2, 3, and ba-doo, ba-doo, bop, ba-doo, ba-doo, bop. Great, okay. So that's an example of what I would call playing really good time, as opposed, and I'm not saying you did this, but as opposed to something like this. Can you play just some time on the right cymbal for me? 1, 2, ready, go. What feels like it has a better groove to it? Second, right? So here's the thing. What I want you guys to really think about is the most important thing is to play with great time. Now, you guys ever heard of the Berklee School of Music?
Yes.
Want to hear what my first day in hip hop class there was like? Okay, guitar player, the guy goes, hey, guitar player, what's your favorite note? One, kind of a dumb question, I don't know, F. He goes, okay, all day you can only play an F on the guitar. You can only play the note F. Okay, so, if you can only play the note F, I don't even know what's going in here. Oh, B flat, cool, okay. let's pretend I said B flat. If the only note you can play is a concert B flat, how are your melodies gonna be? Pretty boring. How should your rhythms be though? Pretty darn good, right? Because that's the only part you get to play. So, you can only play the note B flat. I just screwed up your horn and it only plays a B flat concert. Play anything I'm gonna slap you in the face. Okay, we go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go. It's 2, I would go boo boo ba doo ba da ba. You know what? We're gonna do something. I'm gonna sing, let you play it back. And I'm gonna sing it here. Bum bum ba ba da bum ba da bum. Ba ba doo bum ba doo bum ba doo bum. You got a grader, man. You're totally getting it, which is really good. The thing is, what you want to, where you want to get your rhythmic ideas from isn't from me, it's from you.
Yeah.
Now, are you, okay, where's he going to get his rhythmic vocabulary from, his rhythmic ideas? Where's he going to get all this stuff?
Listening to other people.
Yeah, you listen to other people. So when I listen to jazz, I just listen to it because I like it. But sometimes I'll go, oh man, that was awesome. Just go, scoot the MP3 thing back a few seconds, go, yeah, I'm going to learn that rhythm, I'm going to steal that. Okay? I do that all the time. Sometimes there's even rhythms within the chart that you can borrow. Okay? But man, it's really super important. We're going to try to experiment. Can I see the hands of the trombone players that played solos? Okay, here's what we're going to do. You're going to play, we're going to trade fours. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be our order. And you're going to play a rhythmic idea, and we're going to see if you can pick up the ball and run with it. So what's going to happen is, your ending rhythmic idea is your starting idea. Your ending idea is your starting idea. Your ending idea, your starting, your ending, your starting. Okay, just a little bit, okay? 1, 2, 3, go. It's not like you're bubble boy and you're bubble boy, you're just kind of doing the same thing. But you're communicating with, okay? And a lot of times, man, you listen to some of these bebop records and Clifford Brown will end a solo with a certain little cool phrase. And then Sonny Rollins will take that ending phrase, it's just like here to the top, and pick it up and roll it, okay? And what you're doing now is you're listening really hard and everybody's playing a much better time. Do you all hear that?
Yeah.
Okay? And that's really huge. The other stuff will come, you know, scales beyond the blues scales and modes and Dorian and ultra dominant and all that stuff. That will come with study. But man, if you're not thinking about rhythm from this age onwards, it ain't happening. It's really, really, really important. Okay, I don't have any more time, so let's see. We talked about the bass player, we talked about the rhythm section and comping. The guitar solo. I made a note here, this guitar player thing.
Yeah.
I wrote down nice ideas, which is the smiley face part. The other part is, but I want you to push beyond the blues scale vocabulary.
Yeah.
Okay? It's a great sound, and it's a sound that a lot of jazz students or student musicians latch onto, but we need to kind of push beyond that. It works in a lot of situations. But for me, the blues scale is like, I have one crayon in my box, and it's green, and everything I draw is green.
So where do I go from there? Because this is my first year that I've ever played any jazz.
Oh,
guitar,
really?
So
Awesome. Okay, you guys are in Sacramento. So who's that guy?
Steve Homer.
Okay, Steve's up there, and is Terrence, or, I can't say Terrence, is there a guitar player named Terrence something? Okay, and there's another, I'm trying to think of Sacramento. Anyway, I would try to get with one of the good jazz guitar players. Was somebody at Sac State that teaches guitar? Terrence Brewer is what I'm thinking of.
No, I don't know.
Okay. Well, anyway, I would do that. There's a bunch of resources online, but I would try to find a prior teacher. If you happen to come to the clinic today, I'm gonna have some materials on improv to give you guys some links to. I mean, I don't know if you can, I'm not trying to, I guess I'm trying to push that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I would definitely explore the resources that you have close at hand. You know? And I was very, very fortunate to listen, like, oh, here's what I would do. I'd start getting CDs like crazy. The guy that I would start with is a guy named Charlie Christian, who was a swing era guitar player, but he played a lot more modern. He played in the 30s and 40s, but he's a pretty modern player for that time. I'm a huge fan of Wes Montgomery, and I was able to study with a guy named Joe Pass, who's very, very good. So but I would start with Charlie Christian, go to Wes Montgomery, and then just see where it leads you. Yeah. Hey, you guys, it was really, really fun to work with you. You seem very receptive, and you're doing so many things great, and I hope you have a great rest of the year, and we'll see you when we see you.